All right, we're live for another installment of FanCast Friday.
We're not live. We're not live on a podcast. A podcast isn't live.
In case you missed our last episode, here's a quick clip.
Sign my blender, Kyrie Irving.
New England is too smart of a team.
They're the team to beat in the AFC, playing at home. And I don't know if Nick Foles has the power to keep them in it.
Bite your dirty tongue, because the Titans shocked the world. The Titans are 10-0 when Derrick Henry gets 10-plus carries.
And Minnesota is on the up and up. Remember, the Super Bowl is in Minnesota this year.
Get yourself kicked out of my wedding.
Wow. That's horrible. There was definitely some crazy moments from that show. I highly recommend you going back and listening to it. Moving on to our pick'ems. Mario, please take us away.
Yeah, the past is in the past. Last weekend is old news. Now we're talking about this upcoming weekend. We want to talk about the games this weekend. So first things first, let's look at the AFC side. We're going alphabetically. We got the Jacksonville Jaguars coming in to New England Patriots. Bryant, who do you like?
I'm picking New England. If you're the Patriots, I really feel like a big X factor is going to be Dion Lewis. I think he's going to be running a lot of scat back sort of stuff, like a lot of screens and, outside handoffs and things like that. Like, really try to take those big athletic linebackers out for Jacksonville.
If you look at the four quarterbacks, right, in the final four, let's say. So it's Brady, and then it's Bortles, Keenum, and Foles. All right, one of those things is not like the other. All right,
Blake Bortles is undefeated in the playoffs.
Tom Brady, you can't bet against him in the playoffs. This man lives and trains for the playoffs. All right. So like you said, Brian, Dion Lewis is going to be a big key. Rob Gronkowski, I think, is going to be one of the biggest factors in this game. And I say that because Jacksonville has two of the top corners in the game. Okay, Jalen Ramsey, AJ Boye. They are tough to beat. So you're not going to be running Brandon Cooks up and throwing fade routes. You're going to have to beat them in the seams. All right, with short little throws to Lewis, to Gronk, Hogan out of the slot, probably a lot of Amendola. Okay, that's how you're going to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars.
See, I disagree. I think their linebackers are actually athletic enough to
stop Gronk.
To contend with Gronk here a little bit. I think
they can contain him.
I think it's going to be a dirty game.
I mean, they got a great defense all around, but you're not going to beat those corners. Not easily. Maybe if you're lucky, you can get Cooks back for a deep throw because of how fast he is. But, I mean, it's going to be a tight game. Jacksonville's defense is scary. It is really a scary defense, and they proved that last week. But Pittsburgh was able to put up 42 points against them, and that can't be looked past. All right, I would say New England has a better offense. So if Pittsburgh could put up 42, I know some of it was in garbage time. I think New England can put up a decent amount of points as well. And New England has a stronger defense. So for those reasons, I will pick the Patriots to win this game and to move on to the big game.
I don't see it happening. I think Jacksonville wins this game, and I'm going to tell you why. This Jacksonville team reminds me of the 2010 Jets. The 2010 Jets that beat New England in the divisional round of the playoffs. You have Ramsey as your Revis. You have Bortles as Sanchez, but better. Okay? Again, everybody's sleeping on the Jacksonville defense. 6th offense in yards per game, 5th in points per game. That can't be overlooked. I think this Jacksonville team knows what it takes to beat New England. As Bryant said, you put Brady on his butt. That's how you beat New England. You make him uncomfortable. And Jacksonville is called Saxonville for a reason. They're very good at that. I think Jacksonville marches into Foxborough and stuns the world. Jacksonville wins.
Look, Jacksonville can definitely, on paper, put Brady on the ground. I just don't think it's going to happen. Ray Lewis was talking earlier this week, and he was saying how Brady, all he does this time of year is stick with that clicker in his hand, and he's just clicking away, clicking to make sure that he knows exactly what you're going to do in this situation. Of course, Brady and Belichick are going to have the plan to stop this defense, or at least to mitigate it some way. They always have the right plan in place. The times that I've really seen the Patriots struggle or really lose in these high-stakes scenarios is when you just have luck on your side. When you have something like the helmet catch or something crazy along those lines. Those are the real times that you can out-prepare the New England Patriots. The New England Patriots are fresher than this team overall because they had the bye. This team is going to continue its dominance forward and get to their next NFL championship game.
I will say, though, real quick, before we move on, I will say that I do not by any means think that this is going to be a 9-point spread game. I think this is going to be a really tight game all the way up to the finish. I mean, who are you going to pick with 40 seconds left on the clock?
You're right. It's going to come down to Blake Bortles or Tom Brady, and I don't see who outside of Mario and Stats Love himself who would pick someone other than Brady in this scenario. This is all he lives for, especially if we see Psycho Tom. Let's say that the Jaguars do get Brady on his butt and they do get some really good calls going their way. Tom's going to get crazy like he always does. and he just needs one play. Mario, what's the next game?
Next game is you got the Vikings at the Eagles, which is crazy. We have the 2 seed at the 1 seed. The 2 seed is favored. Eagles are again underdogs, even though they're the number 1 seed in the NFC going into the playoffs. It's crazy to me. Bryant, who do you like?
All right, let's get this out of the way. I pick Philadelphia. Rezzo, don't ding me once. Ding me 5 times, please. I pick Philadelphia. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so this kind of feels like a broken record, what I'm going to say, but for Philadelphia to win this game, they need to keep Nick Foles protected. They need to force turnovers, and they need to work the clock. Okay? This is literally football 101 that I'm saying. But that's how you beat a team like Minnesota. A team that is so middle of the road good at everything. You know, they have a great defense. They have a solid offense. Just an overall great football team. You need to beat them in every aspect of the sport. And I think Philadelphia has a well-rounded enough team to do that. Okay, our big test is going to be Vaitai over as our left guard. He's come up big, especially last week and all throughout the season, made leaps and bounds with Jason Peters coaching him. This is going to be a game to watch. These 2 games that we have this week are going to be phenomenal. It's really going to come down to Nick Foles versus Case Keenum, because I really feel like both run games are going to kind of be a wash because both teams have really good rush defenses, and I can't wait to yell my head off at this game.
Yeah, it's going to be a good game. Let me just say, I am making the case, okay, for Case Keenum. And I've been praising this man. He has really taken the helm of that Vikings team and he's brought him so far. He has the highest increase in QBR from last season, up 32.3. Okay, that's the highest in the league. And the next is Carson Wentz, and then Blake Bortles. So it's interesting, 3 of the 4 quarterbacks that are in the playoffs, the biggest increase in QBR. But you just look at last week's game. In Minnesota's defense, that's going to be the factor here, because I still don't think that Philly has really had to face a tough defense in the past few weeks. Well, I know they had the bye, but last week against the Falcons, I'm not sold on them being a top defense. Then the last game of the regular season, they played the Raiders. Definitely not a top defense. Minnesota's defense is the factor here. If they can come out strong and make stops, they are going to win this game. And they haven't proven anything otherwise. Okay, the Saints are a different story. I'd say arguably a bit more firepower, obviously with Breeze and the running backs. But they held the running backs a decent amount in this past game. If you watch that last game, Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara struggled in the run game. So I really think that Minnesota is fighting to be back home for the Super Bowl. I'm going to pick Minnesota to go against the Pats in the big game this year.
All right, I'm going to tell you who I'm picking. I'm going to tell you who I'm picking.
Who you're picking, Mario.
I'm going to tell you who I'm picking in the Jeff Fisher Bowl. Okay? I'm picking Nick Foles to beat Case Keenum. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to give you 2 reasons why. The first reason is look at last week. Case Keenum, when not pressured, had a quarterback rating of 116.5. When he was
Solid rating.
That's an amazing rating. That is a solid standout performance. When pressured, however, Case Keenum's passer rating drops to 5.1.
Oh my God.
Okay, that is a big difference. So, Cody, you can talk about how his passer rating jumped up so high, but guess what? When the cooker's on, he can't hang with the best of them. So
You don't think that has anything to do with the offensive line and how they can protect him, do you? That may have something to do with it.
Oh,
No,
good
I
thing
don't,
we have
because
a terrible defensive line, right?
I'm
I
not
think
saying
this-
anyone
this
is
is
terrible
gonna be a
defensive
battle
line.
of
They
the
have an
trenches.
amazing offensive line.
There's going to be a battle of the trenches, and I think the Eagles will win that battle. And if that stat's not enough for you, I have an even better one. Every team to defeat Matt Ryan in the postseason has either won or at least participated in the Super Bowl. Going back to 2008, Cardinals beat Atlanta in the wild card round. Cardinals end up facing Pittsburgh in the Super Bowl and losing. 2010, Packers defeat Atlanta in the divisional round. They go on to beat Pittsburgh in the Super Bowl. 2011, the Giants beat Atlanta in the wild card round. I think Cody can remind us what happened that year.
Oh, yeah.
The Giants beat the New England Patriots.
Yeah, we remember.
I just need to remind everybody. 2012, Matt Ryan ended up losing to the 49ers in the conference championship, and then the 49ers lost to Baltimore in the Super Bowl. 2016, they made it to the Super Bowl, but lost to the Super Bowl winners. So if history has taught us anything, Eagles win this game.
It's don't trust Mario's stats.
Matt Ryan is good luck, Chuck. Here we go.
Mario, your track record for stats this season so far is not great. You said
Has been
Derrick Henry
phenomenal.
was 10 and 0 when getting 10 plus carries. Now he's now 10 and 1. So I feel like just by saying that stat, you have jinxed them.
You're the guy who calls the free throws during the game. And he's like, man, this guy has made 67 straight free throws. He's automatic. Doesn't even hit the rim on the next one. But I have to say I completely agree with Bryant on this pick. The Eagles are going to win this game. I love how the Vikings won their game. It was beautiful. They hung in there. They took the chances that they needed to take. And when an opportunity presented itself, they were there. That being said, I think the Eagles have enough to win this game. Is the offense that amazing? No, but I think it has enough to get the job done. The Eagles defense is still playing just as good as I think it was going to play. And I think the more success that this team gets, the easier, I mean, not the easier, but the better their odds are. Also, see, if this game is a close game, I think the Eagles can edge it out. I don't know if the Eagles can come back from a huge deficit, but I think being at home with the crowd, with that defense, if it's a close game, your offense is going to have enough to get you through that game. Eagles win it and meet the Pats in the Super Bowl this year. Well, that's it for this weekend's FanCast Fridays. Don't forget to like us on all your favorite social media. You can find us at FanCast Sports. We're actually running a couple Twitter polls right now. We've had over 200 of you guys already drop by and show some love. So we just want to continue that energy, put it back to you guys, and put it into another great show next week. Remember, FanCast is where the fans speak, so be heard.